Hello beautiful people, how are you all doing today? I wonder how many of these people that support Trump, support Nicola Sturgeon, support Theresa May, support all these little puppets that they say are in charge of their country. I wonder how many of them are parents. I wonder how many of them were taught by their own parents that violence is never the answer. Because that's what my parents told me. You know, they also told me that two wrongs don't make a right. I think in 2017 we've lost something called common sense, or morals, or a moral compass. I know some of you don't actually care, in the sense that you have your everyday life. You've got your bills to pay. You know, your Coronation Street or your Emmerdale or your EastEnders is on. But I just watched two children. One, I'd say, between the ages of 8 and 10. And one that looked no bigger than maybe 40 weeks old. Gassed with chlorine gas. I say chlorine gas because obviously the smoke that I saw was yellow. I don't know of any other gas. You know, I would say mustard gas. You know, yellow, because obviously in my eyes mustard is yellow. But obviously I'll say chlorine gas because, you know, that's what I think it was. You know, I could be wrong. I'm not averse to saying when I'm wrong. But I just watched them die after breathing in this harmful gas. I just watched 2 lives out of thousands get extinguished for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. For no actual reason. You have all these people that are, you know, oh, ban immigrants, oh, Syrians this, oh, Syrians that. But have you actually stopped and thought for a second that the children that are actually, you know, on these boats that are sinking, that are left in Syria with no parents, with no grandparents, you know, the ones that are here in this country, do you not think they have the right to life? The same as your kids and myself has the right to life? You know, yeah, I understand there's going to be people out there saying, you know, well, people from Syria and that lot, they're ISIS. You know, how fucking stupid are you, really? You know, anybody could point the finger at anybody. I could go outside now and point out as many white people as I want and say they're members of the fucking white supremacist gang or the KKK. But it doesn't make it true. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you say the same thing. You know, people were saying for years that Michael Jackson fucked kids and nobody said a fucking dicky bird. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was only when it come, you know, out in the open, you know, it was proven right. Now, I think some people need to think, really do think, when they support causes like, you know, bombing Yemen, bombing Syria, you know, intervening in countries that we have no fucking business in. You know, and then you wonder why, you know, these so-called Islamic extremists or Al-Qaeda or, I don't know, fucking Spetsnaz from fucking Russia, whatever you want to say, come and, you know, attack people. You attack them. You know, they were perfectly fine before you started selling bombs and guns and bullets to people. But yet you're allowing the children to suffer, lives to be extinguished. Do you not think that we should sit down and stop this? Yes, they may have struck us first, but do we think that striking them back is going to solve this? It's only going to escalate the problem. Many people are most probably sitting there going, well, what do you fucking know? Well, you know, I don't know a lot. I really don't. But I'm willing to learn. I wouldn't want to see my children laying out on the grass, you know, gasping for fucking breath. Or body parts blown everywhere. You know, I wouldn't want to see that shit. So I wouldn't put that shit on anybody else. You know, back in the day, there used to be a saying, you know, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Do you remember that? Do you remember the good old days where we could sit down and talk to people, where violence wasn't the answer? We are so prone to violence these days, so prone to point scoring, that we lose, lose track of what we're actually trying to achieve. Now, to the people out there that think that bombing and, you know, ISIS is going to solve the problem, by bombing countries that ISIS apparently are in, banning countries or segregating people is going to solve the problem, then you're fucking stupid. You know, segregation never solved any problem. Let's look at history, for instance. You know, blacks versus whites back in America, segregation didn't work so well. We'll even come forward a little bit forward to the Israeli and the Palestinian problem. Segregation, you know, bombing, tanks, bullets, bombs. It's not solving anything. You know, you want to solve these problems. I want to solve these problems. I don't want to have to watch people dying in their own streets. I don't want people having to gasp for their own breath. I don't want us to have to send our mums, our dads, our brothers, our sisters over to fight somebody else's fucking war. You know, it's all about how you want shit to be. You know, I don't want my children to die. I wouldn't want any of your children to die, no matter what colour, creed, or what you believe. But two wrongs don't make a right. Just because they attacked us doesn't mean we should attack them. You know, two wrongs will never make a right. You know, it just perpetuates more violence. And you think by us bombing them that they're going to go, oh, well, we better stop fucking bombing them. No. Because you're killing their brothers, their sisters, their mother, their fathers, their children. They're going to retaliate. So maybe we should sit down and actually talk with these people. And to the people that are going to go, oh, but you can't talk with ISIS. Well, you can't talk with fucking Theresa May. And make her see that sending bomber planes to fucking Yemen's a good idea. Or selling barrel bombs that are against international fucking law. You know, the hollow points being used, they're illegal. They're not meant for anything. You know, they're not meant to be used. They're inhumane. We need to start making these people in charge see that if it was them, would they still make the same decision? Would they still want to do what they're doing? Because I bet you they wouldn't. If you had to get Theresa May's kids or Donald Trump's kids to be sent over to these countries and deal with the problems that they want to incur, they'd soon fucking change their minds. I refuse to accept that we have to live in a world where this happens, where nobody stands up and says something. You know, I wish that I could go to Syria and help these people, you know, on the ground, save some lives, even if it's just one life. But I can't, because if I do, I get branded as a terrorist of the state, an enemy of the state for wanting to help people. It's crazy. Yeah, they want to bomb them, and that's perfectly fine. You know, people need to look up the definition of terrorism and then look at their own government, and they'll see that, you know, that's how it works. Because it's like the age-old saying, you act like your government and they hate competition. So as usual, guys, this is peace and love from me. Start thinking, start acting.